Here are Grandpa's 37 valuable survival hacks in a wild. Use pine sap as a bandage. Grandpa always swore by pine sap as a natural bandage in the wild. If you find yourself with a cut or scrape, locate a pine tree and collect the sticky sap by gently scraping it with a knife or stick. Apply the sap directly onto the wound. Pine sap acts as a sealant, protecting the wound from dirt and bacteria while promoting healing. It's also slightly sticky, making it a natural adhesive bandage in emergencies. Rub charcoal to repel bugs. Charcoal isn't just for fires, it's also great for repelling bugs. After creating a fire, use the cool charcoal to rub on your skin, particularly on exposed areas like arms and legs. The charcoal masks your natural scent and helps deter bugs like mosquitoes. Its mild scent keeps the bugs at bay without harmful chemicals. For added protection, reapply after a few hours or after sweating, especially when mosquitoes are more active in the evening. Chew willow bark for pain relief. In the wild, willow bark can provide pain relief similar to aspirin. If you're experiencing a headache, toothache, or muscle pain, find a willow tree and peel a small piece of bark from a young branch. Chew on the bark, allowing the salicin compound inside to release. Salicin is a natural pain reliever that works by reducing inflammation. After chewing for a few minutes, you can either spit out the bark or swallow the juice for relief. Use socks to filter water. If you need clean water and don't have a filter, your socks can help. First, gather water from a stream or river. Stretch a clean sock over the opening of a container and slowly pour the water through it. The sock will filter out larger debris like dirt, leaves, and insects. While this won't purify the water, it provides a basic filtration step before boiling or using purification tablets. Always make sure to sterilize water after filtering. Make a whistle with an acorn top. In an emergency, an acorn top can become a life-saving whistle. Find a large acorn cap, hold it between your thumbs, and create a small gap at the top. Place the acorn cap near your lips and blow sharply through the gap. The airflow across the cap creates a loud, high-pitched sound. Practice until you produce a strong, clear whistle. This sound can travel long distances, making it useful for signaling others when lost or in danger. Boil tree bark for tea. According to Grandpa, tree bark can be a valuable resource in a survival situation for making a nourishing tea. First, identify safe trees like birch, pine, or willow, which have known benefits. Carefully peel off the inner bark, avoiding the rough outer layer. Rinse the bark to remove dirt, then place it in a pot of boiling water. Let it simmer for 10 to 15 minutes to extract the nutrients. Strain the liquid and sip slowly to hydrate and benefit from its natural properties. Pack wounds with spider webs. A classic survival hack by Grandpa. Spider webs are an unexpected but effective material for treating wounds in the wild. Begin by finding a clean, undisturbed spider web, preferably in a low-traffic area. Carefully gather the web without breaking it apart. Place the web directly onto the wound to help stop bleeding, as spider webs promote clotting. The web also has mild antibacterial properties. Secure the web with a cloth or plant material and replace it as necessary to keep the wound covered and clean. Use animal fat for candles. Animal fat can be repurposed into a candle when no other light source is available. Start by rendering the fat over a fire, heating it slowly until it liquefies. Strain any solid particles from the fat, then pour the liquid into a container such as a shell or small can. Insert a cotton thread or plant fiber as a wick, making sure the tip stays exposed. Once the fat solidifies, light the wick for a long-lasting, natural candle. Wrap food in leaves to steam. Steaming food in leaves is a practical way to cook in the wild without pots. First, gather large, non-toxic leaves like banana or grape leaves. Clean the leaves thoroughly to remove any dirt or bugs. Wrap your food tightly inside several layers of leaves, then place the bundle on hot coals or stones near a fire. The moisture in the leaves will steam the food, cooking it gently. Check the food periodically and remove once it's tender and ready to eat. Onion or garlic to repel bugs. Onions and garlic are natural insect repellents that can help in a pinch. Slice or crush an onion or garlic clove and rub the juice directly onto your skin, focusing on areas like wrists, ankles, and neck. The strong odor will repel mosquitoes, flies, and other insects. For extra protection, place sliced onion or garlic around your campsite to create a barrier. Reapply the juice as needed, especially after sweating, to maintain the repellent effect. Heat rocks for a bed warmer. Heating rocks can provide warmth during cold nights in the wild. First, gather smooth, dry stones. Avoid wet ones as they may crack, and place them near a fire. Let the rocks heat for about 30 minutes, ensuring they are hot but not glowing red. Carefully remove the rocks using gloves or a cloth and wrap them in a thick cloth or clothing to avoid burns. Place the wrapped stones under your bedding to keep warm for hours. Clean water with campfire charcoal. Did you know that campfire charcoal can help filter water in a survival situation? First, collect cooled charcoal from your campfire, crushing it into small pieces. Place a layer of crushed charcoal inside a cloth, sock, or other material, and pour the water through it. The charcoal absorbs impurities, reducing toxins and improving the water's taste. Remember, while charcoal filters large contaminants, it's best to boil or chemically treat the water afterward to ensure it's safe to drink. Use duct tape for emergency repairs. Duct tape is an essential survival tool for quick, temporary fixes, so Grandpa always has this on hand. To patch a hole in a tent or gear, clean the surface and dry it thoroughly. Tear off a piece of duct tape large enough to cover the damaged area, pressing it firmly into place. Duct tape can also be used to repair shoes, secure splints, or even seal wounds in an emergency. Always carry a small roll in your kit for fast and versatile repairs on the go. Burn citrus peels to repel mosquitoes. Burning citrus peels is a natural way to keep mosquitoes at bay. Collect peels from oranges, lemons, or limes and let them dry out slightly. Once you have a campfire or outdoor fire going, toss the dried peels into the flames. The oils in the citrus release a pleasant aroma as they burn, which repels mosquitoes and other insects. For best results, keep adding peels to the fire periodically to maintain the repellent effect throughout the evening. Turn cans into stoves. Turning cans into stoves is an effective way to cook in survival situations. Find a metal can, preferably larger like a coffee or soup can. Use a knife or multi-tool to cut a large opening on one side and poke ventilation holes around the bottom. Place fuel like small sticks or charcoal inside, then light it. The can traps heat, creating a controlled fire. This makeshift stove is perfect for boiling water or cooking simple meals while camping. Use safety pins as fishing hooks. In survival situations, safety pins can serve as makeshift fishing hooks. First, open the safety pin and bend it into a curved shape resembling a traditional hook. Sharpen the pointed end of the pin with a rock to improve its grip on fish. Attach the safety pin to your fishing line, tying it securely to prevent slipping. Bait the hook with insects or small pieces of food and cast it into the water. This simple setup can help you catch fish when resources are limited. Shoelaces make snares. Shoelaces can be repurposed into snares for trapping small game. First, find a small, flexible sapling and bend it to the ground. Tie one end of the shoelace to the bent sapling and form a loop with the other end, leaving it open to create the snare. Place the snare in an area where animals are likely to pass, such as a game trail. The tension from the sapling will trap the animal when it triggers the snare. Always check snares frequently to maximize effectiveness. Make an axe with a rock and stick. Creating an improvised axe can be useful for chopping wood or building shelter. First, find a sharp-edged rock that can serve as the axe head. Locate a sturdy stick about 18 to 24 inches long to use as the handle. Position the rock at one end of the stick and wrap it tightly with strong cordage, vines, or strips of fabric to secure it in place. Ensure the rock is firmly attached. Then use your new axe to cut small branches or prepare firewood. Use moss to find north. Moss can act as a natural compass in the wild, according to Grandpa. Moss often grows thicker on the north side of trees and rocks because this side gets less sunlight in the northern hemisphere. To use moss as a guide, observe several trees or rocks, looking for where the moss is most concentrated. Align yourself based on the moss growth, and you'll have a general sense of where north is. This method works best in dense, deciduous, shaded forests with limited sunlight exposure. Tie string on fingers to check frostbite. A simple way to monitor for frostbite in cold conditions is by tying string around your fingers. Take a thin piece of string or cord and loosely tie it around each finger, ensuring it's not too tight. Periodically check the tightness. If the string feels looser or if your fingers swell, it could be an early sign of frostbite. This technique helps you quickly identify when blood flow is restricted and prompts immediate action to warm your extremities. Belts as splints or tourniquets. Belts can be lifesavers in medical emergencies, functioning as both splints and tourniquets. To use a belt as a splint, place it alongside a broken limb and secure it snugly to immobilize the area, using fabric or string to hold it in place. For a tourniquet, wrap the belt above a severe wound and tighten it to restrict blood flow. Be sure to release it every 10 to 15 minutes to avoid tissue damage. Always monitor for signs of shock when using a tourniquet. Signal with mirrors. A mirror can be an invaluable signaling tool in the wilderness. To use it, hold the mirror up and angle it toward the sun. Create a reflective beam by tilting the mirror back and forth and directing the reflection toward search planes or rescuers. To aim, form a V with your fingers and align the beam between them to hit your target. Mirror signals can be seen from miles away, making it an essential item for drawing attention when stranded. Dig trenches for fresh water. Trenching is a clever method for finding fresh water in the wild. Look for low-lying areas or damp soil. Dig a trench about 2 to 3 feet deep and allow time for water to seep in from the ground. Line the trench with stones or fabric to prevent debris from contaminating the water. This technique taps into groundwater, providing a clean drinking source. If time allows, you can boil the water afterward for safety. It's a simple way to survive when water sources are scarce. Use soda cans to start fires. Soda cans can help start fires in an emergency. First, polish the bottom of an aluminum soda can with chocolate or toothpaste to create a reflective surface. Once shiny, angle the base of the can toward direct sunlight and focus the reflected light onto a small pile of tinder, such as dry leaves or paper. The concentrated beam of sunlight will eventually ignite the tinder. This method works best on sunny days and requires patience for the fire to catch. Make snow goggles from bark. Snow blindness can be prevented with makeshift goggles crafted from bark. Find a piece of bark from a flexible tree like birch. Cut the bark into a strip that will fit around your head and make 2 narrow horizontal slits for vision. The slits reduce the amount of sunlight hitting your eyes, preventing snow glare. Secure the bark around your head with string or cordage. These simple goggles help protect your eyes from harsh reflections in snowy environments. Use your watch and the sun to find direction. A simple analog watch can help you find direction using the sun. First, point the hour hand of the watch toward the sun. Then find the midpoint between the hour hand and the 12 o'clock mark. This line indicates south in the northern hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere, the midpoint will indicate north. If you don't have a watch, you can draw one in the dirt. This method works best during the day when the sun is visible. Weave branches for shelter. Weaving branches is a practical way to create a sturdy shelter in the wild. Begin by gathering long, flexible branches like willow or young saplings and thick, sturdy ones for the frame. Stick the thicker branches into the ground in a teepee or lean-to shape, then weave the flexible branches horizontally between them. Continue layering until you've built a solid structure. Add leaves or additional branches for insulation. This woven shelter provides protection from wind and rain using natural materials. Use wet grass as cooling blankets. When temperatures rise, wet grass can be a lifesaver for cooling down. Start by gathering fresh grass or leafy vegetation. Dip the grass into a stream or lake to soak it, then drape it over your body or clothing. The water will evaporate and cool you down, especially in dry, hot conditions. Re-wet the grass as needed to maintain the cooling effect. This method is particularly useful if you're far from shade but near a water source. Turn pants into flotation devices. In a water emergency, you can turn your pants into an effective flotation device. Remove your pants and tie the ends of the legs tightly. Hold the waistband and swing the pants overhead to capture air. Then quickly submerge them into the water, creating air pockets inside the legs. Keep the waistband closed to trap the air, which will help you float. This simple trick buys you precious time to stay afloat until help arrives or you reach safety. Rub pine needles to hide scent. Grandpa advised that rubbing pine needles on your skin can mask your scent in the wild. Start by collecting a handful of fresh pine needles from the ground or trees. Crush the needles in your hands to release their strong, natural oils. Rub this oil over your skin, paying close attention to areas like your wrists, neck, and ankles. The pine scent covers up human odor, making it harder for predators or animals to detect you. Reapply as needed for lasting effectiveness. Use tree bark for cordage or tinder. Tree bark can be a valuable resource for making cordage or tinder. Look for trees with flexible inner bark like willow or cedar. Peel off the outer bark, then carefully strip the inner bark into thin, long strands. For cordage, twist 2 strands together tightly, adding new strands as you go to make it longer. If using for tinder, fluff up the strands to catch a spark easily. Bark is lightweight and always readily available in most environments. Burn animal dung for fuel. Animal dung can serve as a reliable fuel source when dry wood is scarce. First, collect dry, firm pieces of dung, preferably from herbivores like cows or horses, as their dung is less toxic. Ensure it's completely dry to burn efficiently. Create a fire pit. Lay the dung in a small pile and ignite it with a match or spark. Dung burns slowly and produces good heat, making it useful for cooking or warmth. This method is especially helpful in arid areas. Rub plantain on insect bites. Did you know that plantain leaves are a natural remedy for soothing insect bites? First, find fresh plantain leaves, usually growing in disturbed soil or along trails. Crush the leaves between your fingers until the juices are released. Apply the crushed leaves directly to the insect bite, rubbing the juice into your skin. The plantain's anti-inflammatory properties help reduce itching and swelling, offering quick relief. Reapply as needed to continue calming the bite, especially in outdoor environments with limited resources. Sharpen sticks with spoons. In survival situations, even a spoon can be used to sharpen sticks. Start by choosing a sturdy spoon and a branch or stick you want to sharpen. Hold the spoon at a sharp angle to the end of the stick and scrape it repeatedly in a downward motion. Gradually, the stick will form a sharp point, suitable for use as a spear or tent stake. Spoons work surprisingly well, especially when knives or other tools aren't available. Make water stills with plastic. Water stills can provide drinkable water in a survival situation. First, dig a hole about 2 feet deep in a sunny spot. Place a container in the center, then cover the hole with a plastic sheet, securing the edges with rocks. Put a small stone in the center of the plastic sheet so it dips over the container. As the sun heats the ground, moisture will evaporate, condense on the plastic, and drip into the container, providing clean water. Stick to high ground. In survival scenarios, staying on high ground can offer multiple advantages. High elevations give you a better view of your surroundings, helping you locate potential rescue routes or spot nearby water sources. It also helps you avoid low-lying flood zones or areas prone to pooling water. Additionally, wind flows are stronger at higher elevations, which can keep insects away. Remember, while climbing higher, always be aware of weather conditions and avoid exposed areas during storms. Carry a metal cup for cooking or boiling. A metal cup is an essential tool for survival, especially for cooking or purifying water. First, find a suitable fire-safe spot and build a small campfire. Fill your metal cup with water or food and place it directly on the hot coals or on a makeshift grate over the fire. Boiling water ensures it's safe to drink by killing harmful bacteria and parasites. The cup is versatile, allowing you to prepare meals or even sterilize instruments when necessary. For more contents like this, click here to subscribe.